It has been nearly 2 weeks since the March 11th earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Where do things stand in terms of the recovery at Tokyo's airports?
Well, I think the first thing to say is that was no damage reported at the Tokyo airport. So, in a physical sense, they were able to get up back to a normal operating standpoint really within 24 to 48 hours after the earthquake. The real problem now has been with the fears over radiation exposure. There's no demand for travel to Tokyo, and people for the last 10 days or so have been trying to get out of Tokyo. And so what you're seeing airlines doing now is saying in the near term we're going to cut capacity going into Tokyo. Delta Airlines, for example, yesterday said it was cutting 15 to 20% of its Japan capacity through at least May, including dropping flights from Los Angeles and Detroit to Tokyo Haneda Airport. So you're starting to see airlines pulling back a little for the time being.
The Japanese aviation market generates about $62.5 billion in revenue annually. How do airlines think this will impact the market?
Well, I should start out by saying that ICAO and 4 other UN bodies, the World Health Organization, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the World Meteorological Organization, and the International Maritime Organization, all issued a joint statement saying that it is safe to travel into and out of Tokyo's airports right now. Airlines believe that short term that there's going to be a major slowdown in demand. There's just no one that wants to travel there on business right now unless you're in the media covering the aftermath of this, or you're a rescue worker. There's no business demand to travel there. Obviously, there's no tourism demand travel there. So they think there's going to be a major slowdown. Also a major slowdown in Japanese traveling abroad for the time being. 25% of the Hawaiian tourism market is made up of Japanese, and that, for example, is supposed to drop off. But I think that airlines believe that long-term things can come back. So Delta yesterday was saying that they believe that for the next 6 to 9 months that this will be a one-time event that affects them. They generate about 8% of their revenue annually from Tokyo-related services. And they believe that 6 to 9 months from now, you'll start to see demand coming back to Tokyo, primarily because of a rebuild effort. But then as we go along, things will get back to normal. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty now because people don't know how bad the radiation exposure element is going to be and what sort of perception there will be about how safe it is to be in Tokyo or to change planes in Tokyo. But the feeling now is that the next several months, a major slowdown and a major change in capacity going into Tokyo, but that within a year, things could be relatively back to normal.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.